Today we're at the Clinton River Water Resource Recovery Facility, formerly known as the Pontiac Wastewater Treatment Plant. Several projects that were involved with this, from a regional effort to bring in a bunch of more customers into Pontiac, to the new technologies we brought in on the building we're standing on right now. So what this does is it takes the solids out of the sewage that we always treat. We used to just treat them very lightly. They used to be, what we would produce was a very wet kind of fertilizer that it was highly contagious. Couldn't be touched by humans, had to be treated very carefully. Now we're turning it into what will be, hopefully soon, a Class A fertilizer, meaning it can be handled by people, it can be used in your own lawn and your landscaping, that kind of thing. And it's perfectly usable. Plus it saves, in many ways, it saves our facilities money. When we took over this Pontiac system, we discovered that this plant was very old and in need of extensive repairs. And it was very, very underutilized, less than 40% of its capacity. So we decided that we could bring 30% of the flow from 12 communities surrounding this community and have it treated here rather than Detroit. That saves those communities money because it's cheaper to treat it here than it is in Detroit, and it saves this community money because they don't have to spend as much to do the repairs. So we're making vast changes in this system and doing it in a way that's saving all these communities money. This is going to improve the air quality. There used to be significant issues with odors coming from this facility, and now we've pretty much cleaned that up. There's very few odors coming out of this facility. This is the third project in the entire country, the first in Michigan. It's a new technology that allows us to use bacteria to eat this solids in a much more efficient way. That big dome right there is the gas that's collected from these facilities. That allows us to use it for operations for our own facilities here. Eventually, we're hoping to create enough that we can sell it onto the grid or use it for vehicles for the county. Well, what we'll be doing is we'll be using the natural gas that comes off processing all of this rather than the fossil fuels that have traditionally been used. So we will be hopefully completely off at some point of fossil fuels for this facility, and maybe even more if we can change, add some more of our processes. So this is the kind of thing that, to me, is going to be the future of facilities like this. Instead of using fossil fuels, we can create replacements for fossil fuels. And that, to me, is a new technology that we need to exploit as we're trying to address climate change. We provide flow for the river in significant ways. And coming out of this facility here, this is exceptionally clean water. So when it's coming into the river, it's cleaner than the water already in there. So we supply a higher flow for those communities downstream from us. People like that. They can recreate on the water easier, and there's lots of advantages to it. Well, we're saving significant money. We used to spend $1 million or $2 million a year landfilling a lot of our solids that we would treat, and now that's all completely gone. We won't be landfilling anymore. We'll be using this in a much more effective way as fertilizer for non-crop farming. A lot of things that we do for long-term I'll be answered by this kind of system.
For Oakland County, I mean, it's big being obviously third in the country, right? It reduces the amount of cost, it reduces the volume, reduces the carbon footprint. We are able to take the methane or the biogas, reuse it, and it helps, reduce the facilities, dependency on natural gas. It's been a lot of lessons learned for this, being the third in the country. It's nice to share those lessons learned with the folks, across the country who call us, like Kansas City and Virginia, and so it's kind of really cool to be a part of this system as a whole.